Hey everybody, it's Michael again from DC Hidden Gems, and welcome to another episode of Villa V Vibes. I'm so glad you're here and that we get a chance to talk today. For those of you that haven't seen this before, this is a special episode where I'm usually doing this by myself and Chris is off probably editing one of the other videos that hopefully you'll see with us. But I basically go through what is on our mind in terms of several things and usually a special Villa V topic. Today, that's what we're going to do. We're actually going to talk about the fact that we're leaving Villa V for a while and what we think about that and how we think we will experience that, and some of the reflections that we've done. So I'm really glad you're here today and I look forward to sharing with you. First of all, on a personal update, we thought we would do another what we're watching. We talked about White Lotus before, and we just got word that The Gilded Age is coming back. And for those of you that know it, it's done by the same guy, Julian Fellows, that does Downton Abbey, or did Downton Abbey, and it's set in America. And season 3 is coming back. We have really enjoyed seeing this glimpse into early America and have really fallen in love with Carrie Coon, who is also an actress on White Lotus that we have been talking about and I talked about in the last Villa V episode. But if you haven't seen it, give it a look. We're really enjoying it. So if you haven't seen it, you may want to check it out. On Flashback, we're kind of thinking about what we have been doing on Villa V. On this section, we usually talk about, hey, what we were doing a year ago. I think the last time I talked about a year ago, we were in Barcelona as an example. And today we're going to just talk about reflecting on our many months on Villa V. It's not that long ago, but we've come a long way in terms of our perspective and our experience on Villa V. Not too many months ago, we were on here wondering what it was going to be like. And frankly, we're a little worried a little bit and wondering about what it was going to be like to get on a startup, to go through some of the things that the ship had already been through and the company had already been through before we got on. And then, of course, those continue as we've talked about. But now, looking at it 5 months in, we're really glad we did it. Some people may have called us a little bit crazy for doing it, and clearly it has not been a totally smooth road, but we've really enjoyed it. And as we reflect on the last several months, we're really glad that we did this, with the ups and downs, with the imperfections, with all the things that haven't occurred just the way we wanted them to. We're really glad to be here. And it seems now that we're getting momentum. The company's getting momentum. There's more people on the ship with us. We're starting to see extended itineraries into the future that we're really excited about. And as we reflect on that, we're really glad we're here. So that's kind of our look back. But I would tell you, we're really happy that we have made the decision to do this. It's not for everybody, and we're clearly not trying to influence you, as I say all the time, but we're happy with it, and we're so looking forward to the future and all that lies ahead. We're especially excited about some of the upcoming itineraries that I'll talk about in a minute. On Travel Well, that's a section that we do where I just basically talk about things that we found that have been good for us because we travel so much. And last time I think I talked about AI, and today I'm talking about something very different, and that is fashion. Old school style, kind of Oprah style here. This shirt that I'm wearing, and many of the shirts that you see Chris and I wearing, and pants and other things, are from a company called Ministry of Supply. And we are not sponsored by Ministry of Supply. I wish they would, but I'm a big believer in their product. But we're not sponsored. We have not received any product for free or anything like that from them. But we're big believers in Ministry of Supply. I saw it, I don't know, years ago in the New York Times advertisements, and they basically are a relatively new company. They've been around several years that basically does fashion that is in really good quality and that washes well and that doesn't take a lot of dry cleaning, a lot of maintenance. in styles that are easy to wear. As you can see, this shirt I have on as example is just a black shirt, but I like the cut of it. I like the way it washes. I like the fact that I can just fold it and put it in the closet instead of dry clean it. And all of their stuff is based on higher technology fabrics and things that allow you to be comfortable. They do a lot of cooling stuff. We're in places where it gets really hot, so they'll do things with ventilation. They'll do fabrics that are better for you, and we love them. Now, I will tell you, they're not inexpensive, but we have found their stuff holds up beautifully. It is something that you can wear a lot because there's not a lot here. There's oftentimes solids or very kind of, easy patterns and that kind of stuff, men and women. And you can find it on Ministry of Supply, or you can even find it on second-hand sites like Poshmark or eBay or that kind of thing. The stuff holds up so well. I've bought it secondhand, and I think maybe even the shirt I'm wearing I bought secondhand because it holds up, and I've had it forever and it works out well. So on Travel Well, this is stuff that really works for us. You can pretty much almost wad it up and it comes out looking ready to go. So check out Ministry of Supply. On the Villa V update, we have an announcement, and that is that we're leaving the ship. Yes, we are leaving Villa V to go home to Washington, D.C. for several weeks, and we're really excited about our trip. But I got to tell you, we're kind of two minds on this. As excited as we are to get home, to see friends and family, to see our home there that we haven't seen in 5 months, and even to do things that are pedestrian, like getting doctor's appointments and that kind of stuff checked off. We're really happy to be going back, but we're also sad to be leaving. We're here in the Dutch Caribbean, and we are actually looking over at the ship right now from this bar right along the water. And we've been here a while. It's been really nice. We got some shade, got a cool vibe going, and we have had time to kind of talk and reflect. And as we have, we've really realized that 5 months in, we're about to go home. We actually are a little bit kind of sad to be leaving the Odyssey. We've come so far from the early days when we didn't know how this thing was going to work to it really feeling like our second home. This has become kind of our second home for sure. And we haven't done all the things we want to do. We haven't met all the people that we want to meet. And we definitely want to come back. We'll miss some itinerary that we really would have enjoyed in Mexico while we're gone. And we've got, of course, friends here and things that we will miss about being here. And that's, I think, a good thing because we're actually not really just raring to go and get out of here. We're excited about going home, but we're a little sad to be leaving. Now, we won't be gone too long, but I'll tell you what, while we're gone, we'll definitely miss some things. We definitely have a little bit, trepidation. Somebody fixed me on that the other day, and I appreciate that. I said intrepidation, almost said it again, trepidation, about leaving all our stuff here. We're not really worried about it. We thought about renting the cabin. We're not going to do that this time. We might in the future. So we absolutely are okay about leaving, but it's kind of sad, but we're very much looking forward to going home. As I reflect on our time here, we think about what this has enabled us to do already. And that's on the South American section, primarily, and some Caribbean that we've been on. And it has really allowed us to do some great things. Now, we've been to the Caribbean a lot, and we've been to South America several times, but this setup, this way of traveling allowed us to do some things. We've called them, some of them, springboarding, those tours where we actually jump away from the ship for a while, like when we spent time in Lima and the Atacama Desert. The Atacama Desert was a place that we absolutely always wanted to go and talked about, but we never went. And we thought about, when would we ever get an opportunity to do something like that? And we've done the video on it. That was a springboarding opportunity that we just loved. Our whole time in that whole country was just outstanding. Santiago, even though I got a little sick, if you've seen the video, was a great experience and such a surprise in terms of the city and the people and all it offered. Ushuaia one of the most beautiful places on the planet, Buenos Aires, and the time that we spent there, even though we've been there many times before, they all just really came to life in a different way this time, along with all the other places we went and all the coastlines and all the experiences that we had both in the South America and in the Caribbean. This has just been a different way of traveling, and we really are liking it. As you reflect on that, it's really easy to get excited about the future, because everything that I just talked about really are places that we had been to before, except the Atacama Desert in Santiago. We've been to these places. We still had a very different experience. But now take this setup, take this way of traveling, and start putting it toward Alaska, Japan, China, all of these other places. We've not been to Japan before. We've told you that, but this is our first foray into Japan. We had planned it a few times. It never happened. And so being able to do that is just an amazing thing. And so as we reflect, as we leave here today, knowing that we're going to be coming back in a few weeks, we're really excited about what's going on. So we look forward to that. In terms of what's next, some of what's next is, I told you in the past that we had a special event coming up, and I want to share that with you today because I'm so excited about it. This is a big deal. My niece and her fiance have asked me to officiate their wedding. And that is like the coolest thing. So they asked me, gosh, a year ago, and we've been planning and being excited about it. So I couldn't be more honored and more excited to do that. I am not a minister, but I did get ordained to do the wedding, and I'm just so excited for them. They're a beautiful, sweet, just wonderful couple, loving couple. And being able to do that for them and witness that, and that honor is just, it means everything to me. So we are going to do that in a few weeks after we get home. Then we have a little more time to be with friends and family and that kind of thing before we take off again. Once we rejoin the ship, we're going to be going pretty quickly into Hawaii, Alaska, and Japan. But we've also got some springboards that we're planning to do, actually going back and spending some more time and going really deep into some of those places. And we'll let you know more about that later. But again, one of those opportunities that we wouldn't probably have done the same way and not nearly as robustly. So really excited about that. We love sharing our adventures with you. And so we want to thank you for that. One of the things that you told us last time was that you wanted us to do videos from our DC home, and we heard you loud and clear. You really let us know that's something you want to do. So we're excited to do that. We're actually going to show you our DC home. We're going to do things that, kind of contrast our lives here and there. We may even take you to a special event that I just talked about and show you a little glimpse into that. So we'll be off and we'll be sharing with you. We'll also have some other videos prepared so we won't be missing anything. And so that reminds me of this. We have many of you that watch our videos, but you haven't subscribed yet. And we take that as a compliment. But I'd like to ask you, just subscribe. If you like seeing what we do, we'd really appreciate you subscribing. We still want you to watch if you don't, but we'd love to have you as a subscriber. Thank you. That's another Villa V vibe from the ship for the last time in the can. So we thank you. We'll see you. And until next time, Villa V out. Bye.